Well, hello there, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my name is Lily, and you are in the archives. We're actually in the store today where it's not open yet, but we are here. We're doing our thing. We had to drop off some books, and we're like, might as well shoot the show while we're here because, you know, we wait to get home. It'll be too late, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am here with our secret magical in the clouds producer Golda. She's around here. You're gonna hear the voice of God like every now and then. And today also, if you are a patron of Arkipelago Books, sometimes you would see our friend over here, Leanne. Leanne is our social media person. She's our sometimes cashier. She's our sometimes tabler. Leanne, get in here, girl. Come on, come on. Let's see. Let's see. Hi,
Oh, it's his eye, Leanne.
Leanne. How are you doing? We're so happy. You got some books behind you too. I can see a bookshelf. Okay, sorry, sorry. How are you? Okay, so how are you liking Tresé? How is it? How is it for you right now?
Oh, the folklore is so interesting, especially this episode that we're talking about today. I was hanging out with some friends today, and we were talking about it, and I hooked them onto the show because
Oh,
the storyline. Um, yeah, I'm just really excited to watch the rest of it because I've been watching them in sequence of like these episodes
mm-hmm.
that we're doing for archives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like super excited to talk about it and like get nerdy about folklore.
Get your nerd on, sister. All right. So before we start this, we just want to lay out some ground rules. I know you're familiar with ground rules because you're in PEP, and so you're in the Pinoy Education Partnerships, and so just so that we all are in understanding in the comments section, we want to make sure that people are being respectful to each other. We want to agree that we're going to be respectful, that we're going to agree to disagree, that we're not going to yuck each other's yum. Do you have any? Do you have any ground rules for like the comments section or just for people watching in general?
I think you pretty much said it all.
All right,
There's
all
not
right,
really anything that I want to add.
all
Just,
right.
be kind.
Be kind to each other. It's a Saturday. We're relaxing. People are like leaving the house now and they're going out. So if you're at home and you're like just trying to chill, like we appreciate it. Tell your friends. We want to say hi to Sparkle the Dolphin and Shine the Marten because we see them every week and they're super sweet and they're always like showing up and commenting and talking about the moo with us. So I just want to say I just want to acknowledge RIP to Gift of Gab. That dude is my college years. Like Black Alicious, Soul Sides was like one of my most favorite albums of all time. It's like I never get tired of it, and I can pop it in. Um, so I want to say just like for like a couple minutes, or not a couple minutes, like 10 seconds of silence for Gift of Gab. Okay, how are you doing, Leanne? How are things? How you been feeling? Um, oh, I also forgot. Like, I'll introduce you to Archipelago Books. Archipelago Books is a 20-plus-year-old independent bookstore in the heart of Soma, Filipinas. We provide Filipino and Filipino American books, authors, writers, artists to the community for so many years, and we love what we do. And the reason why we do the Tresé reviews is because it started off as a graphic novel that we would sell, that people were telling us to get it. So we had to get it in the Philippines, slip it on over here to the bookstore, and every time we would get them, we would sell out like right away. So so we just want to acknowledge that this was a book first, and then and now it's got like an American publisher, so you could find it here in the states. They've remastered the book, so they actually redid a lot of the artwork, added a few descriptions, and so if you ever see it, even if you don't buy it from our store, buy it somewhere because we want to support the artists. We want to support the book, and we also want to support like Philippine stories and Filipino stories because it's just this is a really cool book. That's Kajo and Budget. They're the artists and the creators of Tresé. Hey guys, how are you? I'm gonna look over their shoulder. Okay, so right now, because we are reviewing Tracy, the animated series, we wanted to bring on a special. We bring on guests every week, and today, our special guest is so special. Like I've known him for a few years. He's hilarious. He's a writer. He's a voice actor. He's an actor, and actually, he's in Lupia with a Vengeance. He voices other characters. He voices like video game characters, and also he has the silky smooth baritone voice of our generation. I would like to welcome
Nice.
our friend and our friend Earl Baylon to the show. Yay!
Yo,
Earl,
what's
thank
up,
you so
everybody?
much. Hello. Whoa.
Whoa.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come?
Oh,
Who is this voice? This is the voice. The voice.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, no,
Excited.
Super
thank you
cool.
so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that we are doing episode 3 today, and you were a voice in episode 5.
Yes.
But
yeah.
but we do want to but you have seen the whole series, so you kind of are familiar with the stories anyway, right? Like
I'm super.
you know what's
yeah,
up.
I've watched it so many times at this point.
Like with a crowd, with by yourself. Like
By
what you doing? A
myself.
watch along?
I tried watching in Tagalog, and then I was like, wow, this is deeper than.
It's more than just Lola's yelling at you now. It's like
Right,
an actual
right.
Really?
full dialogue. And also some Lolas they speak in other dialects, so or other languages.
Yeah.
So it's like
Mine did not even speak Tagalog, so.
what did you guys speak like when you're a kid growing up?
Well, my paternal Lola, she spoke. I don't even know honestly, but it is a Visayan language. I don't know which one it was for sure. So
Yeah, because there's so many. There's like too
Yeah.
many languages.
Yeah. There's so many.
like if I ever asked my dad like, oh, what language is that, he would just say it's Visayan, but would never exactly say.
It's like, but there's quite a few Visayan languages.
This one,
So
yeah, like which one is it? It's
It's like-
Visayan.
it's
the whole
too hard to explain.
Yeah.
Also, and then Leanne, how many what other languages were spoken in your household other than Tagalog?
Well, I spoke Kapampangan growing up,
Mm.
so that's what I'm more fluent in and like have more of an understanding of than Tagalog. But I honestly did not really have an issue with watching the Tagalog version of Tresé, so that was cool.
Tagalog and everything.
So Tita Tina from Galing Bata, shout out Tita Tina, I love you so much. She teaches language at Bessie Carmichael, and she's always saying that language is dormant, like you can't lose language, like it's just sleeping inside you, and you just have to find ways to activate it. And so I feel like watching Tresé, watching like different Filipino dramas, it's just like activating that like Tagalog muscle in my brain,
Your
Cool.
Tagalog muscles are very strong. They're like
You guys should just
They're
leave it
ripped.
in the background and
I know.
just like osmose.
Like Golda is like she didn't even turn around. She wasn't going to show her face. She was just like straight up like she's the producer. She's behind the scenes. Pretend there's a curtain. Okay, so we're gonna go over the episode. So for we flashback the beginning of the episode. We flash back to how Datu Talog Busao, like we get to know like who he is and where he came from. Oh, sorry, we're gonna show a trailer. I should look at the notes. Okay, we'll show a trailer first.
Trailer first. Okay, let's go.
Trailer first. Feel your pain, kuya.
Yes.
All right. Well, we see this trailer every episode, anyways. So Um, we'll see it again next week, and then you can also watch it on YouTube. If you go to like Netflix, like the Netflix YouTube channel or Netflix Philippines. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go talk about the episode 3. Well, so we open up with a flashback, and we see how Datu Talabuksaw was born. It's kind of gruesome, and also when he ripped his head like open, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay. Also, we find out where the kambal come from too. So we find out like, so if you watch the episode, and if you haven't watched this episode, you're gonna get spoiled. So stop watching.
So much spoiling.
So
Unless
much
you want to be
spoiling.
spoiled, then
Unless you like being spoiled and you're fine with it, like,
Some people are fine with it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's. I don't know. I don't know about you.
I'm one of those people. Like, I
Are
don't
you?
mind.
I'm just
I don't
kidding.
mind. Like,
judging our viewers.
no judging. Don't judge my
I'm not
young.
judging. I know.
That was a really amazing beginning.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Let me see. Okay, good. Turbo Nerd just said I hate spoilers, but I just finished episode 3. Okay, cool. Stay here.
Cool.
Don't go
All right,
anywhere else. So we learn where the Kambal come from and who their parents are, and which is really interesting because like in the first 2 episodes, like the Kambal are cool. Like, you know, where do they come from? Are they
They're
spirits?
hella
Are they?
funny. They're like the comic
Yeah.
relief.
They're the comic relief. They're the ones that pointed with their lips, like.
Mm.
Dun, dun. Okay.
Mm.
Dun. Okay. So we cut to a woman is getting into her car at the mall or at a parking garage, and she gets attacked. We don't know what it is. It's crawling. It's like underneath her car. It's kind of creepy, and she ends up not existing anymore. So next,
Why did you say it like that?
she just
Say it.
Like that's the
She-
kindest way of
Ew.
saying
She
it.
like patay. She's patay over there. Okay, sorry.
There was hella blood.
There's hella blood.
So
She
much.
hella got patay, and so and then like, you know, her glasses fell off her face.
Did
So,
you catch the baby crying in the beginning? Like while she was looking at the ground? Did you catch that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did not
Ugh,
like that.
creepy.
Okay, have
I was
you?
like, it's Chana. At that moment, I was like, Chana, for sure.
It's totally. It's a baby crying. It's a chanak. You should, like, it's one of those like.
Even in real life, when you know.
Oh yeah. I'm like,
Ugh, no.
When there's a bloody scene and a baby crying, you think of a chanak already. But have you like, and I'm gonna meander a little bit, but then did you all like, have you seen or played Resident Evil 8? And they have like a baby.
I've seen like people play it. I haven't seen a ton of it though.
I watch the play alongs or the play with me's, and there's a baby in it, and it sounds spoiler alert for people who haven't seen Resident Evil The Village.
Gold for that on Holocaust.
Yeah. She's good. She's hella quick. But then,
look at that model. It's so gross.
But it's super gross. But then if you hear it cry,
like
it's so awful. It feels like you're watching the Chanak. It's like, this is the Chanak. Like, this baby is Chanak, because like it's. All right, we're in Hank's Hoopty. It's complete with the 8-track player, or we like to call it a classic car. So because in the previous episode, Tracy's car got it exploded, like her car got exploded. So so they're riding. Hank's the driver today, and so
Zuko. I mean,
Zuko. Like Dante Bosco blew up her car. So and I'm like, how are you gonna take out the 8-track player, dude? Come on, like, calm down. So they drive up to a studio, and they are meeting up with Nova, okay. So they meet up with Nova. They find out that she actually is connected to she's employed a duende, like a different kind of duende than Nuno though, to help her with like her Chanak problem, or like her being like she thinks she's being attacked, she's being stalked, and so they speak, and correct me because I'm getting like all the details on this episode a little mixed up. So they talk to the duende, and then so Tresé and the Kambal, they leave to investigate a little bit more with what happened with the woman at her car. Hank is told to watch Nova, to be in charge of securing Nova, and so we meet Jobert. Huh?
I said, get it, Hank.
Get it?
I know.
Hank is like
He's
in
all
love with
about it. He's
Nova.
all
So
about
in
it.
love with
He
Nova.
was like, yes.
So Nova is a super. She's a
Like me and
superstar.
with BTS.
She's like, let's say Nova is an equivalent to Sharon Cuneta, or like a Vilma. Like, is Vilma
Right.
Santos too old?
Vilma
Like,
Santos.
yeah, like, or
She's
who
so
are the
social.
stars? Yeah, all of those Pinays are there. All of those lights are Pinays.
Oh,
One of
it's
you-
Nova, dude.
I know. She's
Also-
probably part of a love
Oh,
team.
She's the,
I'm dead.
she's with like
You
she's
probably show her stuff at Calig Fest, you know.
How do you know about Calig Fest? Are you keeping track of the Calig Fest? Are you like
No.
are you signing
I'm-
up for their newsletters?
I don't know. I literally like hear things that people talk about, and then like I'm gonna use that later.
I didn't even know that was a real thing.
Okay, let's all sign up. Me, you, Earl, let's go. Let's be part of Calig Fest and be their number one stars or number one like fans. So she
Okay.
Nova Nova would be like in a movie with Aga Mulak, pretty much. Or is he too old
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Who are the young people?
I don't even know who the new people are.
I don't either. I don't care. I like the ones that I grew up with, and that's it. Like, we like our Aga Mulaks. We like, you know, who was it? Gerald something. Okay. Anyways, I got sidetracked.
Gerald Anderson and Kim Chu, stop.
Gerald Anderson, is that his name?
Yeah, and Kim Chu. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay. Too much of a tangent.
Okay. So, but we actually, and Golda pointed this out, we actually see Nova in an ad in the very first episode. Are we okay? We see her in the very first episode. When they're in the first scene, when they're in the train, they pass by a billboard, and we see this very light skin Pinay selling skin lighteners on a billboard. If we have it queued up, oh, she's gonna show us. She's gonna share screen. So it's all good. We'll just talk over it because we're gonna talk about skin lighteners and stuff. Skin lighteners. I don't know where I'm going. Okay. Let's go.
Let's bring the darkest possible Filipino.
Not even
about it?
You'll be at home. You'll be home with your peeps. All right. So we're gonna fast forward. Jobert's showing Jobert's going through like the mall footage of her being attacked. Tracy figures out she pretty much knows who it is or what that whole thing is all about. She has Jobert look at other footage, or like Jobert's gonna look at some other footage to kind of like confirm what they see. And then we cut back to the studio, and Hank is watching Nova. He wants to protect her. She has him go out to get more protection, like more arms to protect themselves. And there, Nova is in her dressing room, and she starts calling out to a baby, or calling out to a child. You hear the baby like Jobert, Joanne, Albert, or what? Oh, Joanne plus Albert is Jobert. Shout out to Filipino names. That's his parents' names. I kind of want to know Jobert's story because like he's a ghost, but he can go through. But he's like a nerd, and he looks at
gamer
footage.
ghost.
He's a gamer ghost.
What is it?
So is he a white guy, white man? Like instead of a white lady, he's a white lad.
A white lad.
Or something. Okay.
A white sir.
White sir.
White gentleman.
We'll go back around. We'll figure out Jobert's situation later on. So we find out that that Nova actually knows about her or about this baby ghost, and we call those Chanuks. And Leanne, do you have any background on Chanuk?
Yeah. So usually like they're like tricksters, like goblins, and they would like play. Oh my god, these photos are so funny.
Oh my god, they're gonna give me nightmares.
They disguise themselves. They disguise themselves as babies. And
Sounds like kind of cute.
and they is it?
No
And they
diaper.
cry.
Ew! Oh
They
my god.
cry at night and
Oh
like wait for somebody to care for them and like be like, oh my god, is that a baby? And then like when somebody finds them, they kill them. But then like Catholicism comes around
Uh,
and the Catholics are like, no offense to like Catholics, but like colonization. Um, it changed the myth changes the folklore changes a little bit with Catholicism. Like they say that it's like babies who passed away before they were baptized.
what?
Yeah. And then
Ew.
it's also like babies who were aborted, stillborns, babies who were abandoned.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like where the story is going for this episode of Tresé.
Right on. So what Nova is doing is that she's calling to the Chinook to come to her, and what we find out is she actually stole a knife from Hank and lured him away so that he wouldn't see what she was going to do, and so she starts to like she entices the Chinook to come to her, and then she starts stabbing the baby, trying to get rid of it. Long story short, we find out that this was a child. This was her child that she did not want. The woman earlier in the story with the glasses. Spoiler territory. Please close your ears. She actually had her friend with the woman with the glasses early in the story to get rid of the baby or leave it in the woods. And and so she can continue so Nova can continue her career of being an actress, like a superstar. So it's totally like screwy. I'm just like I'm a little disturbed by the story. Also because she did bring up that her mother actually passed away giving birth to Nova. So Nova's story is kind of like a lot longer, or this whole Chinook story is longer. That almost like we could almost safely say that Nova could have been a Chinook also if like it because like her mother died giving birth to her, so her grandmother had to take care of her, and her grandmother like uh the thing that Nova said to the baby when she was stabbed.
Oh my
No,
god.
oh my god, what are
In.
you doing? Oh goodness gracious. Oh, okay.
Shame is
Who's
scary.
Mistress Joy? I love what she's saying. Okay, train spotting and stitch moments. Got it. Okay, so so Jobert also while he's like the video footage that he was investigating, also he finds out that there's a lot of blood in that one, and I think like a little bit had like I think they're like in one way of seeing the story, it's almost like comparing the Kumbal story of their parentage and then this story of like the Chinook and its parentage and stuff, and just I don't know. That was just like one way I saw it. It was just like we get to know where the Kumbal comes from, and then now we get to know where the Chinook comes from. It's like a lot of origin stories happening here. It's kind of
That is a nice little bit of a parallel, because like at the beginning, when Talagbusa finds that he has children,
yeah.
his first and twins, his first
Yes.
instinct is to destroy them.
To
And
eat
the same
them.
thing, yeah, to
Yeah,
eat them. And the same thing with
Oof.
Nova Aurora. She has a child. She's like, we must get rid of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Ugh. They're awful
That's
parents.
so
yeah,
I don't like them at all. Ew. Um, any other observations, Leanne? You like anything about the monsters that I didn't bring up or talk about?
Not really. I feel like that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Like can we talk about like the differences between Nuno and the other duende? Like cuz I was sort of looking it up, but then that like Nuno is a different kind of duende. He's not a very social one. Like the duende that was in charge or that was working with Nova, he seemed like pretty like they're the more social like duendes. They like to hang out in groups, or they like to hang out with each other. Um and then Nuno is kind of like oh, hello. Nuno is kind of like more of a Um,
Oh my God.
like Solo, he doesn't like to associate with a lot of people. Like they're like the grumpy ones. They're the grumpy
Yeah.
elemental spirits. So
I honestly like I was looking this up too, and it doesn't seem like there's too many differences. Just that there's different kinds of Nunos slash duendes. Like there's
mhm,
ones that live on ant hills or termite hills. There's ones that are like Nuno who like live in the sewer. Um, and they all have like their different personalities. So it's like they're similar. Um,
mhm.
and like the way that people interact with them is like saying tabi tabi po before crossing like where they live and things like that.
Mhm,
Um, but honestly, like I couldn't really find any like super strong differences between them.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like very little differences, but it wasn't like a super big, a huge amount or anything. Um, but let me. I think that's it. Like I don't know. It for me, it felt like this episode was short. I don't
Yeah,
know,
no,
like
I get that too.
compared to the
There
other
was definitely a
episodes.
lot that happened. Like a lot of like small things that I thought were pretty awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you want to talk about them?
the blood.
The blood,
Tell
there's a
us.
lot of blood. Like even if we're talking about that first scene, you know, uh when Dr. Galliardo gets like pulled under the car, it's
Yeah.
it's it's very visceral, right? And
Hmm.
the part that always gets me is like where she's already like halfway under the car and then she's like screaming and then you get that really hard pull and her back like breaks against the bottom of the car. That was like,
Oh
oh god.
wow.
Ugh.
Yes. Why didn't I see that?
But yeah, I
That part
never did
always
that.
I'm just like,
Oh,
oh god, it's a nightmare. It's
My
it's like
back.
getting crushed alive.
and the
Um
Yeah.
crunching sounds. Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
have to shout out to the like the sound design team because
Yeah.
oh my god, the
It's
squelching in this series, it's
the
good.
squelching sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, so
Like
good.
I know. Like I guess like when I do the synopsis or summary, I kind of just kind of go like do a broad stroke. But then this episode, compared to the other episodes, has a lot of detail and a lot of like small little things that happen that
Mhm.
that just kind of contribute to the characters being
Mhm.
developed more. I feel like we get to know the characters a lot. Like that's why I felt such anger towards Nova.
Mhm.
I just had like certain feel like Joe Bird. I felt like, oh, dude, this like he's the homie. Like Joe Bird's our friend. so, so I think like yeah, this episode had a lot of like like more character. I think identifiers or just they worked on a lot of character stuff on this episode.
I think so.
So
I think this is a lot of we got a lot of Hank in this one
yes. Oh my gosh, I love Hank so much and
playing
his hoopty.
the fake
Well,
ABBA
yeah.
in like because I was like,
Yep.
this is
I was like,
Dancing
this is
Queen,
Dancing
but
Queen.
yeah, I know, but they're not saying it.
but it's
No, I was like, it's Dancing Queen, but y'all just like rearrange the notes a little bit.
Just a little bit, where you know, just to get around.
it's
But I know
the
this
it's the
one.
Filipino version of like Dancing Queen. You know, it's like the karaoke version. It's like not
Yeah.
exactly, but just a little bit, and you could put in your own words.
On the magic
Yeah.
mic.
It's the Magic Mike version of Dancing Queen. So, you know, so we don't have to pay for it, and then also, you know, it's just like Hank. This is Hank. Hank is like, so do we know like where Hank comes from yet? Or like we know that he works at the bar and then the bar got exploded too, right? No, not yet, not yet. I'm so sorry. The car got exploded. I'm sorry. Someone's back here.
It's episode 4.
Wasn't he with his? Wasn't he with Anton? Or am I
Um,
tripping? Did he know
was with,
Anton?
oh yeah,
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 he
yeah. He
did
was
know.
in
He
the
does
older
know
episode.
Anton. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So he's kind of like he knows their world pretty much. He knows the whole like the world of the monster, the moo and everything, and he's not very surprised by it. He knows to like when he saw the Chunuk to like get a gun and like start shooting at them. So
And he has his entire trunk is filled with guns.
I know.
He's like the Winchesters from Supernatural.
yeah,
It's he opened that. I was like,
perfect.
oh, that's like the gun safe in my house when I was growing up.
It's like,
Oh
what?
God, whoa.
Wait, continue.
Tell us more.
He's got an arsenal up in there.
Are you fighting muumuus too?
I know. I should have asked that when I was a child. Dad, why do we have so many firearms?
And
He's
wooden
like,
crosses.
fun.
Why do we put salt on all the doorways? I don't know.
Because
Something-
I'm actually Hank.
Because we're trying to fight the monsters. Well, now you know. Your dad was fighting supernatural crime. Does he does he know an Anton?
Find it out one day.
That would be cool. Like, do you see spirits or anything, or are you
Me?
sensitive to
I'm not
energy?
particularly sensitive.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what is always freaky though is I've touched a Ouija board like twice in my life.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
And the case has always been that I always kind of touch it last because I'm like, I don't want to fuck with it.
No.
And it doesn't work. As soon as I touch it,
What?
and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I don't want to explore it further. So
You're like, maybe
not
next.
you. Uh-oh.
Or maybe you have a calling.
I know.
Let's go to haunted places and figure this out.
Oh my God.
I was thinking about that. I was,
Yeah.
I'd
I
love
wouldn't mind
to.
doing
That
some
sounds like
ghost
a
hunting.
thrilling time.
Yeah, you can stream it, IRL stream. I'm just kidding.
Like, subscribe.
I know.
Subscribe and like. All right.
Golda, like with the boom mic. Like.
I know, just leave it right out of shot.
Yeah. It's like, what is that? It's like, it's a boom mic. Oh, okay. We're scared of the boom mic. All right. So I really like I like this episode. I because I do like the story of the Chanak and like just how scary it is and like how like it's one of the main monsters that we bring up like whenever people talk about muumuus and stuff. If we talk about like you talk about aswang, you talk about the kapre, you talk about chanak. Like that's another manananggals. Like it's one of the scary ones. So I don't know if anyone in the chat wants to bring it, like talk about the ones that they're familiar with. But then I think that chanak is one of the ones, and also like Goldo pulled up a picture of a chanak in a Filipino movie, and I think it was like Shake, Rattle, or Roll or something.
Yeah, it looked like Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
It's so scary looking. I hate it so much. Its face is so tiny. I'm like, don't put doll clothes on it. It just makes it look scary.
I didn't know about Shake, Rattle, and Roll until like Tresé came out because people started asking me, "Hey, have you seen Shake, Rattle, and Roll?"
Oh, man.
And
So
I watched I watched a few clips. I haven't seen the Chanak one, but I watched the Manananggal scene. I was like, this is yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Because is it the one where they float up in the air?
Yeah. And then
I might have seen the same one.
And then they she like poured vinegar on the bottom half.
I know. Yeah, the guy was like the one I saw, the guy was threatening the woman to come back down, and so he was gonna pour salt on her torso, like if she didn't come down from the air or whatever. Because like I think she fed him tainted langonisa, and so they would turn into during the full moon they would turn into pigs or something. And so and I think the story in that movie that I saw, like, so they would turn men into pigs with like tainted langonisa. Only men, no women turn into pigs.
How Cersei.
And then and I know she totally. And then they would turn into pigs, and then they would slaughter them, turn them into langonisa. It's just it was like it was gross, and I was like 8. I was like, I don't think I should watch this.
There's a lot of things going on there. There's a little Silence of the Lambs. There's a little Odyssey up in there.
It's I don't know if it's a way for parents to warn the kid, like, you have to watch this horror movie,
right?
So that you know what it's like. I don't know, so you don't do bad stuff. All right.
Well, a lot of these, like a lot of Philippine folklore they're all kind of cautionary tales. It seems, because like I don't know. At least growing up, it was always a warning, like, don't go there. That's where the momo is. If you don't do this, this is gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
Always say tabi-tabi po.
Tabi-tabi po.
Well, everything happens when the sun goes down. Yeah, when the sun goes down, you have to be in the house because there's monsters or whatever. And it's just like, are you just trying to get me in the house before it gets dark? Tell me that. Like, don't lie. Don't lie, Mom. Don't tell me about monsters. All right. So Earl, like, thank you so much for joining us. I want to know more. Like, um, please tell us. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Tell us the key.
tell us everything. No, just kidding. So you're in episode 5. You're in episode 5, and it's not spoiling anything. Just to tell us the name of your characters. You actually play two
Um,
characters.
I do play two characters in episode 5. There's one at kind of at the top. Well, this guy
There's
right here. This
That
you.
is
looks like you.
General
What?
Villar. So
Mhm.
you do meet a military force later on in the episode, and he's the head of that military force. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say what happens, but that he's there, and Alexander has to like enlist his help in something. So that's what happens with him. Earlier on in episode, we see a council of like all the different clans. The clans in Tresé are like the Aswang, Aswang, the Tikbalang, the Manananggal, uh, and other. There were Capre at this, so they're all sitting at a table. Um, and then I'm Tamaraw Spirit, which is like it's related to a Carabao, but it's a little smaller.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I play that at the top. Yeah.
And
Cool.
and how many times have you had to tell people how you got in this project? I'm just kidding.
I also want
I
to
don't. I
know.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't
Tell
know.
us how you.
But I mean, I got on the project because Eric Bauza, who's another one of the voice actors in the Interesa and a lot of other things. I mean, he's currently the voice of Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be in Space Jam. He on in Trese, he plays a lot of characters. First off, he's Nuno, he's Bagyon Electro, he's Amang Paso, and a few other ones.
Mhm.
And he DM'd me because he was like, and he said, "Hey yo, I just got out of his recording session. He asked if I knew anybody else, and then I threw your name in." And I was like, "Oh, awesome, dude!" And he was like, "It's based on Philippine folklore." I was like, "What? That's awesome! I'm so down." And I get an email from the casting director, Wes, who is also the voice director for Trece, Wes Gleason, and he sends me the audition sides. The audition sides have all the characters we know, so I sent in auditions for like 4 or 5 of them, and it's funny because as soon as I see all these characters and then I read about them, that's when I found out about Trece, the graphic novel. I didn't know about it before then, and all of a sudden I did the research. I wanted to know what the characters were, who they were in the story before I sent in my auditions. So I did a whole bunch of research, and I was like, I want to be on this project so bad, so bad.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
so I sent in my odds, and they ended up casting me as General Villar, which I actually didn't audition for. I sent in auditions for Nuno, Amang Paso, Talagusao, but they used me for the general and for the spirit. So I was like, I just wanted to be on it, no matter what it was. So I was very happy getting on the project.
Just make you Aswang number 3 or something like that. Just give me a
Make me
role.
Aswang number 3.
There's a question. Did you switch up your voices between the two characters?
Yeah. So they're not hugely different. I mean, the thing about like
Sample.
the Tamaraw Spirit, the Tamaraw Spirit is he's like there's a little bit of filter on it. So like General Villar is like it's my dad's accent basically.
It totally was.
Show us.
I was like, I never heard Earl with an accent before ever in my life.
What does he say? He says, but now it is time for you to face your true destiny.
Oh my god.
Right?
Nice.
So he's like down here.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, young Tresé. I did not think you were going to make it this far. And then the Tamaraw Spirit was like just the Tamaraw Spirit is actually the general. I mean the Andre the Giant impression I've been working on.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So-
Nice.
It will like lose,
A little bit of
The
a
most-
French accent.
yeah. we must believe the Lakan. So it was like,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So when I watch his
A
documentary, it's gonna
professional.
you're totally pro because like you do well when I first met you, you were doing video game like voices or voice acting. Is that am
yeah,
I right in saying that?
yes. So when I
Yes.
first started, because we met on Lumpia with the Vengeance, and
Yes.
and
Like yeah.
I
In
when
the early
that
days.
the early days. So when I first came
Hmm.
on the project, which was in 2013, I
Hmm.
had just finished working on the Tomb Raider series from the new
Hmm.
this guy Jonah
Yeah.
is my character.
Jonah.
So I had just finished working on that, or the first installment of the trilogy, and
Mhm.
I did that for many years up until 2018. So I was working on
Nice.
that.
Like, and when you're a teenager, did you always know that your voice was going to be like super deep, or
I
like
had no
when
idea.
did your voice drop?
it, it actually dropped kind of early because like I was I
Were
was
you like
I
an
was one of those
8-year-old
kids that
with a deep voice?
no that would have been frightening. That would have been like I don't know if you've seen the beginning of Bad Batch, but like one of the Padawans is it's played by Freddie Prinze Jr. right, but
Mhm.
he's like this 13-year-old and he has Freddie Prinze Jr.'s voice, like full on man voice, and it's like it's a little jarring. Um,
It's kind of scary.
yeah,
A kid with like
I
a
didn't probably didn't have
You
this
as a
voice until I was like
13-year-old.
12 or so, 13. Or at
right.
least that's when my voice dropped. I wasn't able to like uh have the support and like the vocal support, like to build that until I was like in my late 20s maybe.
Right.
To actually learn how to use the breadth of my voice, it took me a while.
Yes.
So
Wow. And now here you are. So
now you're out.
before you were before you were Jonah, did you do any other like voice work before that, or were you
I did a little bit
acting?
of voice work before that. I was acting a lot before that. I started as an improviser. I still do that,
Mm.
but I'm a part of an improv troupe called Room to Improv. We're a short form Asian American troupe, and we
Hey.
were started by Cal State CSUN FASA alumni back in
Oh,
2002.
cool.
So
What?
we've been around for since then, and I'm currently the artistic director of that. So that's how I started off. And
Mhm.
really quick shout out too, though, is one of another Room to Improv cast member is actually in Tresé, and she voices Nova Aurora. So shout out to Leslie Ann
Oh,
Oh,
Panaligan. So we actually know each
wow.
other from many years ago.
that's
Um,
Did
cool.
you know she was gonna do it, or you just found out like when you were doing it,
I
or
actually found out during a voice session.
ah,
Wes was what happened is like we were I was recording rewrites for General Villar, and
mhm,
sometimes when you can hear the chatter in the control room sometimes, and then they
mhm.
said Leslie Ann. I heard him say Leslie Ann. I was like, there is not another Leslie Ann in this business. If there's a Leslie Ann, it's I know the Leslie Ann. And I was like, wait, Leslie Ann Huff, and they're like, yeah, do you know Leslie Ann? I was like, yeah, I've known her for like a decade. So I found out in the
Cool.
control room as I was recording.
That's cool. Oh my gosh, that's like, and so it's all almost like you all came full circle, like from college, and then you looped back around and met each other on this, or know that you worked on the project at the same
Yeah,
time.
many years after, because we were
Yeah.
on Room to Improv, and then we worked as on a sketch team for 5 years, and then
Mhm.
5 years later, after well, not even 7 years later, after the team kind of dissolved, that's when I found out
Mhm.
she was working on this as well.
Good times, man. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see like you and like your peers are like working, like doing this work. Because like how
I'm
big
super
is
happy
like
about it. Yeah.
isn't it exciting? Like how big is like the voice acting community for Filipino voice actors, voicers,
There's quite a
voice people?
few of us now. I started learning because like on um a few weeks ago, even I think somebody was because it was kind of prompted by Tresé, I think, is somebody was asking like, how many Filipino voice actors or Filipino American or English voice actors are there around, right? And they were asking actually Dawn Bennett, who was another friend, and she listed all these people, including there's there, hey, Leslie Ann. But she listed me. There's Jesse Inokalia. He's on Dragon Prince. JB Tadena. He's working on a few projects. He worked on Raya. There's Eric Bauza, of course, and then even within in this there's a lot of people. Ruben Uy, he's there as well. So there's Sumali. There's a lot of people. John Briones, Rodney Toe.
Right.
So there's a few. There's at least 30 that I can think of.
Yeah. Damn, that was on this show.
Not on this show, but I mean just in general.
Just like in general, man. That's cool. Like, we just want to support them. If you guys happen to have like a union or like just a list of yourselves, we're like, okay, I'll watch that show because this person's on it. Like, we always like the community always likes to support and stuff.
Right.
So a lot of the show was like pretty much done during the pandemic, or was it like already done before the pandemic? Like, how much did you have to do during the pandemic?
So, our initial recordings were actually before pandemic. Like the first day I worked on Tresé, it was summer of 2019. So, I worked on it a long time ago. What is it, like almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, and but that's just a vocal recording. Once they get all that down, they have to do all the animation. So all that stuff was taken care of during pandemic, and I can only surmise that has definitely made the timeline for the actual production of Tresé much longer than it originally probably needed to be, because of just COVID stuff. And once we did get back to the point where they were doing rewrites, reshoots, or like ADR, like dialogue replacement, that happened right around like November of 2020, November of last year. So that definitely happened during pandemic, and we were talking to like the producers. Shout out to Emiko and Mikey. They were telling us how it was just a challenge to like schedule everybody, because everybody had different requirements. All the voice actors were like spread out all over the world, because everybody had kind of huddled hunkered down at home, and some people recorded online, some people went in to record in the studio. I actually went into the studio to record. And just because I feel more comfortable recording in the studio, I don't have to worry about like street noise and stuff. So it was definitely I'm sure it was a task for them.
Yeah. Oh man, that seems really complicated. And wasn't the release date like pushed back a little bit, or that
it might
of?
Have been. I don't exactly know. I'm sure. Because the first time I heard that there was like a definite release date was this one, when it was June 11th. So I didn't have much news before that. I remember sitting there asking, every few months I would Google see what the news was, and there wasn't a ton.
Yeah, it was almost like a secret when it was going to come out.
It was super secret, right?
Yeah, I was like, until they released that first trailer, because like I actually met one of the background artists at the store. Like, they were like, like, do you have Tresé? And I was like, yeah, we have like a few. He goes, yeah, I'm like working on it right now, but like I'm working on the artwork for that. I forgot the dude's name. Like, but they came in, and like him and his partner came in, and they were like, they bought as many as I could get, and I had to just
Wow.
mail it to them. But it was just like it was crazy because it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago that they came in and they were talking about it. I was like, whoa, I heard about this thing. Like I heard about that they were animating it. He goes, yeah, I'm working on it. I was like,
That's
what?
awesome.
Whoa.
So this
I
was
was
like
like, oh
the
my god.
original, like the Avenida Press version, like the
It was like
because
the
Wow.
OG, like oh no, it was the Visprint version because Avenida
oh,
is like a newer like
it's the newer
publisher
version.
of it. Yeah, so
Mhm.
I had the old versions. So like those were not like rendered the way the ones that are coming out now. Because
Mhm.
Kajo redid all the artwork for the Avenida and the Ablaze version. So the
I
one you
can't
got
believe I
that you bought from us.
right. This you mean this one right here?
Yeah, that was like, we
No, the
sent
other
you.
one, Arkipelago Books. Um,
Oh
I
hey.
I I didn't realize that. Oh no, I haven't seen the original. I kind of want to see the original art, but I know I did hear that Kajo, yeah, like redid all this
Yeah,
stuff, which is pretty
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But you know, as artist, like as an artist, he probably has been wanting to like redo it, and just needed like a chance. Like he just needed like something to inspire him to do it. And I guess republishing it was probably a way for him to get the new like to like put more shadowing because like a lot of
Mhm.
the art before was like very simple, and it seemed like they
Mhm.
put more detail and more shadows in the artwork. So um like Leanne, did you have any questions or any comments?
Mm,
Girl,
uh,
say something in Tagalog with
what
your
was your like?
with your-
Huh?
no, I'm
Sorry.
just teasing. Good.
I wanted to ask like, what was your like first gig in voice acting?
In voice acting, my
Yeah.
first voice acting gig was
Yeah.
I did a commercial for Domino's Pizza.
Oh.
Um,
What?
yeah, and
What did you
I
have to
yeah, that was
say?
um I can't even remember. It was I was selling Hawaiian pizzas. I don't remember
He's
what
a
the
he's a
this is.
Hawaiian looking guy. Let's have him do
I
the
know.
advertisement.
Oh no! I did have another question. Do
Yeah.
you get to
Mm,
meet like the character designers? Because I know like for like the production of like an animated series, they do
Mhm.
like the writing and then the voice acting, and then they do all the what's it called? Well, obviously like the character design and like the world design happens before that.
Mhm.
Um, but like I feel like the general character that like you voice, yes, this one, I feel like
Yeah.
he looks like you. Like, did they base him off you? Like, did you
I
meet
don't know.
him?
I never even thought about that. Maybe they did. I should ask
That would
Jojo.
be,
So
Does he look
Jojo
like your dad?
Aguilar.
I feel like
is
he
that
like looks like
is that
you.
is
God
that your
damn, he
dad
kind
right
of
there?
does look like my dad.
So I'm
That's
like wondering
crazy.
if they like based him off of you or something.
He might have. I'm gonna ask Jojo because
Could you?
Do
I
it.
would really love to know.
It's a little bit
I'm
of
just thinking
like
about it now.
it's like a little bit of you, but as like a GI Joe character in a way.
Yeah,
I think. Like if
yeah.
you were in the old GI Joe '80s and the 1980s series, like that could have been you, dude, without the
Okay,
facial
yeah.
mustache. But,
What would have been my name? It would have been, I don't know, General or
Private
something. You know,
General,
I know.
Batikpak. Something like a really hard
Some,
Tagalog sounding last name. Like
right, like
balik
Makabuhay.
balik makabuhay. Makabuhay.
Yeah, I
We
would
do
I
have a
never.
like
question.
Brazil.
I have a question for you. Um, what have been your favorite Filipino references so far?
Oh,
Like
in Tresé.
you did talk about the Wallace, right? You
Right.
did like
The
that.
Wallius that was awesome.
That was
Um,
cool.
in episode 2, I tripped out because like um when it was the lip point when they did the lip point when the
Yeah.
kambal
At the
point the
girls.
yun
Yeah.
spirit. Yeah, I was like, did they just animate the lip
You
point?
like rewound it. You're just like,
Yeah, I know.
that was a
Just
lip point. That was a
I
legit
did a
lip point.
boomerang of it. Just so
It's just like
I know. Now I'm gonna go back and do a
It
boomerang of it.
was so noticeable
Um,
too.
it was, but then I feel like that lip point was like so much deeper because they were pointing out those two cute girls, but also Is it like did the Kambal just know that they were actually like spirit, like they were like the winds, like you know
Right.
that they were the
Can the
wind. What was it, goddesses? Yeah,
can the Diwata
like
like sense each other?
yeah, like so. Yeah, did they know that they were Diwata and that's why they were doing the extra lip point, or were they just like look at those cute girls over there, lip point? Like, but I've seen some friends and cousins do that lip point to people they were interested in. It was pretty
Yeah,
hilarious.
I've
Yeah,
seen that hella times.
I
was
feel like
that was a good
the
one.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It made me I tweeted about, or like I found a tweet about it, and then like I retweeted it, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Um,
That was a real thing.
but
And people might not have
yeah,
seen it right away
it was
too.
very real, right?
Yep.
And I think like if you don't know the culture or you're not born into it, like it's something that's easy to miss, you
Yeah,
know.
totally.
So that was one of the first big ones that made me go, "Whoa!" Um, I mean, there's a
That,
lot
that
of
was
stuff
kind
in
of a
this.
dream. That was kind of a dream come true to see the lip point.
Dream come true to see the lip point, right?
Yeah, like
You know,
I kind of paused and I was like, we made it.
Oh my god.
right?
It was
We did
pointing. Oh, Infernal. They like the Merienda spot. Like the
There
one
was a
where Tresé is she's sitting on the plastic chair, like is I think it was it
in
in
episode 5
I think it was episode 5. She was kind of like hanging out at a spot where they had plastic
in the
chairs.
Maliksi, right?
In
The
Maliksi.
Tikbalan.
Yep. She
Those
was,
like white plastic chairs. Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
white
you mean
plastic
Jason
chairs.
Mendoza? Jason Mendoza shows up. Spoilers.
Wait,
I'm
he was-
sorry. We're huge Jason Mendoza fans. Many Jacinto fans. So
Oh, okay.
I love him.
have you seen The Good Place?
Oh!
I
Golden's
have.
doing magic back here.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm just hit me with
I'm like
that.
Yeah.
very dude. Manny's jaw is insane. That jaw.
I'm saying.
I
This
couldn't
man is
draw.
here.
I couldn't
Like,
draw one that good.
those are right angles right there. Those are
Yeah,
such jaws. Those are the jowls to do you dream of. Uh, but yeah, watch The Good
Why
Place.
you called him
We're
Jason
supporting
Mendoza?
yes. Manny. Oh, Trish is in the Trish. Okay. So, but yeah, there's a lot of love for Jason Mendoza from Jacksonville on the show. So, um,
I have not got into his stuff yet, and I feel bad because a close friend of ours, Mitch Narito, he plays Donkey Doug.
Donkey
So-
Doug. That's
my
a spoiler.
god.
We don't want to bring it up. Don't bring up the spoiler. But yeah, he's amazing. I love Donkey Doug. Oh, like, just know that you might have to hear that. You might have to hear that phrase a lot in the show. Like, oh dip, we gotta go.
Oh, damn,
Sorry.
that's my favorite.
Let's get back to the show. Let's get back to Tresé. Is there any other Filipinoisms? Let me think. I don't know. Any other references that we like?
I think there's a lot of cultural stuff. The like when I first saw the trailer, like, and I saw that they're using Bye Bye In for like all the rune stuff.
Yes.
That's dope, you know, because I
Yep.
mean, I know there's kind of a not necessarily a movement, but there's a trend towards like reincorporating that into like official use, and
Yeah.
but it is kind of awesome to see it take place, you know, with a wider audience. So I just learned that it's that some of the Bye Bye In doesn't exactly make sense, but the one in the poster actually says sixth child to the sixth child.
Oh man, I know they did bring that up in the first episode, and it's kind of like there's a running storyline throughout the whole season, and so I'm just like, what does that mean? Tell us everything.
It's so much.
So yeah, Bye Bye In is like, we do have a book, and I don't have it on me right now, but
I have it.
it isn't.
Nice.
Oh, you have it. It's
It's
an
like,
instructional book almost. It's almost like
That's
it's like for
dope.
kids and adults. And so it's made by a tattoo artist in San
wow,
Jose named Jeff.
have stuff like
And
this.
if you do want to like,
Oh, it's like a
if you
workbook.
want to practice,
Yeah.
it's a really cool book to practice with. So, thank you for bringing it up so we can talk about the book. um,
Also, like,
oh,
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yes.
That's so good.
So
Cool.
like at least you could practice, yeah. And people got to know that you can't look exactly like his writing. Everyone's writing is different, but at least you'll know the characters.
There's also coloring
Someone did
pages.
coloring pages. Yeah, so that's his artwork. So if you want to get a tattoo from Jeff, I mean, he has his own style. It's like an American style with
Like
Philippine
Jeff
traces.
Jeff
Quintano.
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 There you go.
And one of the people in the comments, Trish, she says, the Filipino references of drag racing and hip hop dancers
Oh yeah,
in the story.
It's-
Drag racing, yes, because I was like, they're gonna have drag racing in the story.
they had to. Come on now.
They had to. They had to. Someone
Right.
mentioned that that road that they were driving on is an actual drag racing spot.
Oh,
Look at the
really?
places right there. Yeah, that's where they
I'm
actually like. Not during
I like
rush
that,
hour though, man. Hot
Import
import
Vanilla.
vanilla. Like, yeah,
I like
they
that
had that.
Alexandra Tresé is like she drives a Skyline, or it looks like a Skyline.
It looks like a Skyline, right? But I thought
Yeah.
she would drive like a sensible car, like a Camry or something. But I guess not. But it has to be
Hold on,
big
let's
enough for them
Like
to
a
fit.
Camry. I'm dead.
But it has to have fit everybody, right? Like her and the
Right.
couple look kind of tall. I don't know if a
I
Skyline's
know.
gonna fit everybody.
Right.
Now they have to run because there's no car.
I want to know how they
That's-
became friends. Like how they started working together. Like her and
Yeah,
I think that might
they're
be
slowly because they're slowly introducing the Kambal. Because like we
Oh.
learned in the beginning of this episode, we learned the Kambal are the sons of Talog Busao or like Datu Talog Busao. So they're kind of like a little bit demonic already.
Yeah.
He was about to eat them though.
he was.
Yeah, they have like no like definition in their eyeballs, I guess. It's just all black. But then like Talog Busao. So I guess like maybe this next episode 4 or 5 will like learn more about them. But I want to
I
dress
hope
up like them for Halloween.
Yo,
Oh,
I'm
super
so
cool.
looking forward to all the cosplay.
Oh my god, I want to
yes.
do one too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I
gosh,
just want to have a booth at WonderCon or Comic-Con selling Tresé books just to have people come up dressed up as them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that would be so cool.
Who's gonna
I
have the
mean,
widow's peak?
Do my hair.
Right?
Damn it.
I think that
Oh, Trish, the
yeah, once that comes, once cons come back around, that's going to be definitely one thing I'm going to look for, like
But I-
Tresé cosplayers.
I feel like though,
season, yeah.
like the comic book conventions in the Philippines, they probably
You're probably right. Yeah.
already been dressing up. Like people are popping out of like like the
Sewers.
the manholes. Yeah, the sewers dressed up as Nuno. Like, I wouldn't be
I know.
surprised. Or at least like well,
Talk
let's
about
strap one
that
to the
giant chalk nut. Look how big that chalk nut
Oh
is.
my god, they're never that big.
I know.
They're like
I don't know,
this
but that's
tiny.
another reference I
Yeah.
loved. I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all because chalk nut is such a specific flavor, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
as soon as it came up on screen, I could taste it in my mouth.
Correct.
You know?
Yes,
I know, like,
me too. Me
I was like, I
too.
can taste
I was like crazy. I was like, I'm
chocolate.
gonna get my ass to Seafood City like right now.
I know. Another plug for a product that like Chocolate. Get some. Get some and give it to your Nuno.
Unless you're
Oh my
allergic to peanuts,
The peanuts.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Yeah.
right. That sucks.
which many of us
That-
are.
Yeah.
That's awful. Maybe there's a substitute. Who knows? Chocolate,
Oh
hazel,
my
Is there a
Hazel-
cashew?
hazelnut chocolate, cashew chocolate.
That would
something-
be dope. Hazelnut chocolate.
Ooh, post all costumes.
Did you put
come home.
Miles in one of the Gumball's outfits?
Who?
That would be super. Miles, could you put Miles
Oh,
in one
yeah.
of those?
No,
Oh,
he'll be Tresé, and then me and Dad will be we'll be the couple.
Yeah. I could.
Nice.
Oh, actually, I could hella see Miles as Tresé.
Yeah, because he's like he has that mean mugging face.
He
Did I tell you?
does, and his hair is long now.
Do we know if the sales went up after the show came out? Yes, because I'm having a hard time getting copies of Tresé.
Yeah, me
So,
too. I
um,
really
That's
want
awesome.
my copies.
yeah, but everyone check a Monday or Tuesday on our shop. We're getting the ones from the Philippines because the ones that are published here in the States, they're taking forever to reprint.
The Ablaze
So
ones.
yeah, the Ablaze ones are taking forever to print. So we're getting some from Avenida,
Mm.
and it just FedEx just was supposed to deliver on Friday, and FedEx is delivering on Monday. What the heck?
Mm.
But
They're,
if
it's a
anyone,
little smaller, right?
differences
The
of,
Avenida
like, what they
ones
look
are
like?
like
they're like a little bit shorter, like
Mhm.
because like the standard comic book size in the States is like maybe like so many centimeters off, like so many
Mm.
centimeters bigger than the Philippines one. The cover on the Philippines one is like black and white. But I feel like Kajo he remastered all the artwork like the same for.
all the stuff
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, it's I think it's but then I think a Blaze one has more description at the end of each
Oh, like
chapter.
those interstitials where they talk about like what
Yeah.
is what. Got it.
But I
Oh,
think we'll do a video on just the differences so that people will know which one they're getting.
yes,
Um,
please.
but then even in the Philippines, they were saying that they are running out of Tresés, so I kind of lucked out and bought like at least
Wow.
30.
That's
And
so
also,
awesome.
yeah, I'm like happy for them.
Arkipelagobooks.com.
Arkipelagobooks.com. We're lucky that we got some, like, because lockdown in the Philippines was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh
I could
yeah.
not send my parents out to pick up the books from the publishers because I was like, "Are you guys vaccinated yet? Can you get vaccinated? Can you like be safe, take care of yourselves?"
Right.
But but um, so the publisher is able to send it directly to us. Just don't ask about how much the shipping costs.
Oh no.
Okay,
Many dollars.
so much dollars. um, did anyone else in the comments have any questions for Earl, for us? Anything about moo or monsters? Do you don't have any monster stories, Earl, or any family members that met up
Um,
with the aswang before?
I do have one, and I kind of mentioned this on a stream on one of my streams, but my whenever my mom would smell
Ooh.
night blooming jasmine, it's called dama de noche, right, in the Philippines. It's this very specific type of flower, and I learned that it's associated with death. I didn't know this,
Oh,
but I
really?
learned from like one of my followers, or one of my mutuals in chat, Amari. She's in the Philippines actually, and she was saying, yeah, that's associated with death. But my mom, whenever she smelled it, she would tell me the same story, and it was always, and she would say, "Oh, Dama de Noche." It reminds me of my when when I was a girl, there was a teenager who grew up next to me, and she would always uh, play with my mom's hair and like weave the flowers into her hair. Right.
What? Did she know
And-
about it when she was doing?
Yeah, I guess because they were friends, and she was like the next door neighbor. But apparently, like the neighborhood rumor was that her boyfriend's mom was an aswang and did not like her. So yeah,
What?
so she ended up dying mysteriously, and when they didn't allow my mom to go to the funeral because there was something wrong with the body or something like that, and everybody was saying that her body was floating like an inch off the beer, and my mom could smell the Dama de Noche in the air during the funeral.
What?
Wow.
Because isn't sampaguita like a type of jasmine flower? And
It might be, yeah.
sampaguitas, they always like pass them out, like, or they make them into like necklaces and
Like lays.
lays, and they're like the flower that they're the flower of the hour.
The flower
I
of
think
the Philippines.
the Philippines. But I can understand like the scent of jasmine, like especially funerals and like times where you're visiting the dead and stuff,
Mhm.
or passed away members of your family. Um, but that's like your boyfriend's mom being an aswang. That's too crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
What
Because
does that mean? He's an aswang too?
I
Like
know, how does that work? Is it
I
like
don't know. Did
is it
she
like
get?
Black Panther? Do you inherit?
Did she
Also,
get
what kind
turned?
of aswang? Does he like
Oh,
also
I
turn
don't
into a
know.
werewolf, or like is he like a vampire? Which
I
one?
think it was more like the uh, it was one of those things where I feel like my mom kind of just like lumped everything into Aswang, because if it was
Yeah.
probably more like Mangkukulam, or
Oh,
Yeah. Well, because like aswang is kind of like an umbrella term for like
mhm,
all these like because manananggal they say is a aswang,
mm-hmm.
right,
but she's a manananggal. Like so, there's aswangs and that's the sexy aswangs, stupid sexy aswangs.
stupid sexy Aswang. Look at him. He has no
Look at
right to
him.
be that hot, living rent free in my
Well,
head.
her
I
too.
was like,
She's
am I one?
sexy
Yeah, well,
too.
yeah, her. She totally reminds me of Morrigan from Darkstalkers.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Morgan or like Lilith or her
Mm,
sister. Okay, we're gonna geek out on like old Darkstalkers stuff, but yeah, like so there's like different designations for aswangs, and
as a
so the
Manananggal.
aswangs, yeah, that's a manananggal, and then in the first episode of Tresé, they had the aswang, like the aswangs that like ran that like the pier area, and so they're kind of like a different kind of aswangs. Like, ugh, okay, thanks, Golda.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Her laugh in the background. So
She's
funny.
I know the heart, like the broken hearts and livers and pancreases, pancreas. Is there a lung in there? There's a tongue,
There's a tongue. We got a heart.
got a
It looks like
brain,
part of a liver, kidney, large
intestine.
intestine, brain. Yeah.
Boo. um, but yeah, we have like, how can we order Tracy
Take my
copies?
money.
Golda, throw like put it in the chat, like the website, and then our
They're all sold out
balete,
except for the first one.
huh?
They're all sold out except for the first one.
Yep. But I am doing pre-orders for the first one. We're getting the seventh book in this shipment of books coming in. So that's the newest
No
one
way.
that's like the most recent Tresé that's out.
Shut up
Shh.
Can I
Shout
pick
out.
them up from your
It's
house?
Balete Padala 2021, and that's our discount code for free shipping on your next
Nice.
order. So
Balete
please
Padala.
Get you some
Balete.
decent books.
And the balete coming from the balete tree that they talk about, and it's also featured in Tresé. So code will last until the end of the month, and then next month we're gonna have a new code. So just a few more days for that one. So the issue one is pre-order, and then um, the other books will, when as soon as they come in, they'll be updated. So check on Tuesday. Promise. Tuesday. Everyone watching this, check on Tuesday.
What time Tuesday?
First thing in the morning, like maybe even midnight.
Okay, and
I'm
that's
gonna drop it like
EST.
I know. Okay,
midnight
USA.
release.
Let's see how like because I'm hopefully these 30 copies will last until Ablaze has more copies, but
Might. We'll see.
I'm about to drop hella money.
I know
take my
people are
money.
excited.
People are excited because like if you like the different like, and I don't know if you notice. Ooh, look at this girl cosplaying. Okay, I don't know if you know the difference. Like if you've read the difference yet. Emissary. Oh, let's all dress up.
Oh
That's
my
so
god, so cool. Oh
Um,
my god.
but yeah, some like the comic book is actually a little bit funnier and a little bit darker than
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a little bit more of both. And I like the comic because of its kind of dark humor. So if you like
Right.
dark humor, um, it's just like she's so dry. Like Tracy is so dry and hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be her when I grow up with the
And
with
then the
the little
Kambal are
widow's
like
peak.
they're all the emotion.
I know they're like the happy, the sad.
I
They're
know.
like
Just
because like
oh no.
yeah, their masks remind me of like the drama
right.
drama masks.
The comedy tragedy.
Yes.
Isn't
Uh,
like
I
the
think-
concept of this kind of like she's the avatar of like the Philippines,
oh, say what?
right?
Oh, I
she's
can see that.
like she's like balanced between the underworld and like the overworld.
That
Yes,
makes
yes,
sense. That makes so much sense. If you look at
Right?
her like in as the like the way they treat Avatar. I mean, Korra as Avatar, because they don't really talk about the
yes,
balance in
Oh yeah,
Atla,
yeah, yeah.
but
yeah,
like,
Pandora.
but yeah, Korra is all about the spirit world and all that stuff. So
yeah,
that totally makes a lot of sense.
yes. It does make sense.
I like it.
So, I think it's great.
I think
Um,
it's cool.
Thank you for liking my thoughts. Appreciate it.
love it. Um, I want to ask both of you, and
Hundred
also
percent.
the people watching. Like, have any of you seen it in Tagalog? And
Yeah,
how do you like it in Tagalog?
I like it in Tagalog a lot
Yeah,
because I get to listen and practice. But episode 5, I'm gonna watch in English.
yeah. Just so we can hear English first, and so we can. Unless you do it in Tagalog too. Did you do it in Tagalog,
No,
Earl?
it's a completely different voice cast.
Does he have as silky a voice as you do?
Better.
I don't know.
I don't
I,
care about his voice.
I should check. I should definitely
You
check.
should check. Yeah, it's probably not going to be as great. Okay, we're just going to say it right now.
It's probably awesome.
Sorry,
It's probably pretty
Pies.
good.
sorry, actor that plays General Villar. Just kidding. All right. Well, I'm gonna start ending this soon. If no one else has any questions or comments or anything fun to say, um, Earl, like, do you have you have your Twitch channel? You're there often.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to promote? What's your Twitch channel handle?
My Twitch is early be good, like Johnny Be Good. I'll put it in the chat.
All right. All right.
So
Cool.
that is me. Well, I could have just said hi, it's me instead of typing out my own. Hi, it's me.
It's already on the
Already.
Earl. You know what?
But
It's getting late. That we've been talking for a million years, so it's like, you know what? That's fine. You can put your name and say hi at the same time. So everyone,
totally.
how often do you stream?
It's been a little turbulent in terms of stuff because I have a few things going on, like because everything's opening back up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to have rehearsals, like in IRL stuff is starting to happen again. So I've been trying to at least get on twice a week. I used to be on about 4 times a week. So, but I definitely do Friday nights. I play Jackbox every Friday night with everybody.
Hey.
And then on Sundays, right now I'm playing Breath of the Wild, Zelda, and then on Tuesday and on every other Tuesday, I actually do a cooking stream with Arnold Basingat, and
What?
I don't know what property we're doing next, but we use it's called Pots and Pan Geekery, and it's basically we take a genre IP, like we've done Street Fighter. We've done Star Wars, we've done Lord of the Rings, and then we create a menu around that. So
What?
we did
That's
Tresé this
cool.
past week, and we did a Tres Leches cake, and
Whoa.
this
I love
is
the
the hard one.
fun.
We did chicken wings with they were called ass wangs with
That's the way you said the ass one.
ass wangs with a cum balsamic talagbusaw-sawan.
Wow.
That's like a tongue
You
twister.
really thought of that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
All
really
right,
good.
Earl. All right, Earl. Everyone go catch Earl. Anytime he's streaming. And you also do Nerdtastic too, Asswags.
And Nerdtastic on this is all on Geekish Network. So
Yeah. Go check out the Geekish Network, everybody.
everything is that's where we stream the cooking show and Nerdtastic and Pangeekery. I'm on a lot. You'll get tired of my voice.
do you do any ASMR streams or anything? Do you like read
there
instructions?
was a
like this?
point where that might have been a possibility, but I don't know.
Well, people go send him messages about ASMR videos, or and we'll just Earl says words, and then he just like will say it like very close to the microphone and almost in a whisper. Say tabi tabi po. Someone is telling
Plug
you
all
Earl
your
to say.
social medias.
Oh, yeah,
Please say
what?
words. Words.
Do something in Tagalog.
Say something.
OnlyFans.
I know. Nasaan ang banyo?
Okay, you say bawal ihi dito.
Is that what you said?
Bawal umihi dito.
Yeah.
I said something way worse.
No, well, you see that everywhere in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Every garage, every like street, like everywhere, it's bawal umihi dito, like everywhere, all the
Don't
time.
piss here.
And then in different provinces, it's different languages too.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. All right. And all your social media is Early Be Good
Everything is
also.
at everything is at Early Be Good. I hope to God people didn't hear what I actually said instead of.
It's gonna be on our Twitch channel for everyone to watch over and over again.
Oh my God.
At least in 2 weeks.
They're gonna think this guy's good. I'm gonna hire him.
And then we gotta add that OnlyFans site, the ASMR site.
Oh my God.
Leanne, do you have any anything you want us to, like, your Instagram, your Yeah, well, you do art, girl, so tell us all about it.
What?
Oh no. Well, my art has been on hiatus for a while, but they
No
might
one
come
knows
back.
that.
Who knows? We are at Kapwawa. I don't have access to the chat right now, but it's KAPWAWA. And then you can also follow me on Instagram at Leanne.
Leanne. Hey.
Kapwawa is your
Kapwawa.
Insta?
Yep, that one.
Yeah, Instagram. Check out her art. It's really adorable. I love it. And sometimes she sells it. She sells
Also,
like
who
postcards,
knows?
stickers.
Maybe Arkipelago might get some new merch soon.
Oh my God. What? Thank goodness. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We're having so much fun in the chat now. Earl is coming up with his OnlyFans site, Early Be Bad. Yes, look at that sleeveless hoodie he's wearing. You should join his site. Pay $50 a month or whatever to hear him say
I don't like
sexy words.
sleeves. Sleeves are my mortal enemy.
You're like, oh,
Yeah,
getting in the way.
Yeah. It's getting in the way.
He like just tears them off. Everything he wears.
Every new shirt.
We're like, sir, you have to pay for that, sir. Okay, so we'll send you like a sleeveless hoodie then, okay?
I appreciate it.
Brother, thank you so much for joining us. We had so much fun talking with you.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the series or the season if you haven't caught up yet. Just let me know. Hit me up once you get to 5. I want to hear your
episode
reactions.
5. Definitely. Episode 5 is Earl's, so hurry up and watch episode 3 so you can watch episode 5, the Tamaraw, and also General Villar, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And we like to thank all our regulars in the comments: Sparkle the Dolphin, G Trish, the Turbo Nerds. I don't know if I've seen you last week. So hey, Turbo Nerds, what's going on? Shine the Martin, Ang Farrell. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Earl. Thank you so much, Leanne, for joining us. We'll see you next week, 8:00, same time, same channel.
Oh, thanks,
and
folks.
Oh, everyone's chatting already. Hurry, get on it. Hurry, type. Turbo Nerds was present but antisocial. Aren't we all, though?
That's a great photo, Turbo Nerds.
Yes.
I love Jake.
Yay. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.